How to beat imposter syndrome. So this is just a graphic I found. So people who get imposter syndrome, other people who get, so pretty much literally everyone, they all get imposter syndrome. And everyone feels like an imposter sometimes, and that's okay. So characteristics of imposter syndrome. Self-doubt, attributing your success to external factors, berating your performance, inability to realistically assess your skills, fear that you won't live up to expectations. So how to identify imposter syndrome? I feel like a fraud, I'm no good or at this, who am I to do this? What if they find me out? I just got lucky, I have no idea what I'm doing, I can't do this, I better enjoy it while it lasts, I can't charge someone for this, I just want to help people, I'm not good enough. Do you ever feel like you're winging it at work? Like you're not quite qualified enough for the role you found yourself in? And that soon somebody's going to realize. Sounds like you've got imposter syndrome. Described as a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. And you're not alone. According to a survey by Tresemme, 90% of British women experience it, while even Michelle Obama admits that she does too. Finding herself questioning why people should take her seriously. The good news is that this is something you can overcome with the right techniques. So one, take control of your self-talk. Are you telling yourself a story such as, I'm not experienced enough to be doing this job? Or, I'm too young, old, shy? If so, you need to intervene with these negative thinking patterns as they become self-perpetuating and take on a life of their own. Cognitive behavioral therapy works on this basis, and there are various CBT apps you may find helpful, such as Catch It. Positive mantras and affirmations are also very effective. For instance, before heading into a big negotiation meeting, I listened to a song by Ed Sheeran called You Need Me, Man, I Don't Need You. It says that line repeatedly and really changes my mood. 2. Shun perfectionism in favor of self-acceptance. It's important to develop what's called a growth mindset, which is to take the approach that there's no such thing as failure, only feedback, and that if things don't go as planned, it's okay because you value the learning process, not just the outcome. If you achieve this kind of mindset, it can really help you feel more relaxed about how you perform at work and go some way to beating imposter syndrome. Push yourself. Regularly challenge yourself to do something that scares you. For instance, this quarter I'm going to do a farewell speech. Next quarter I'll ask for a pay raise. By doing this, not only are you continually growing, but you end up surprising yourself with your own capabilities and thereby boost your self-confidence. For Watch Your Body Language, there's a great TED Talk by Amy Cuddy in which she describes an experiment that shows how much our body language impacts our mood. In it, a group of people did a high power pose before an interview, such as standing up straight with hands on hips, and a second group did a lower power pose, sat slouched over with their arms folded. Those in the first group performed much better in the interview, and swap tests showed that the pose had increased their testosterone levels and lowered their cortisol levels. So before a big presentation or event, nip off somewhere quiet and do a high power pose for 2 minutes. In meetings, make sure you're at least sitting up straight with your legs crossed. 5, write it down. Physically seeing your achievements written down can actually help with imposter syndrome. When I first started my business program, progress felt really slow. So I created a progress tree on my wall, sticking up a post-it note every time something successful happened. Another thing I'd recommend is journaling. Looking back and seeing that just a few months ago you were dealing with totally different things is a powerful way to reminding yourself just how far you've come. And then finally, last thing is fake it till you make it. Sometimes there aren't any shortcuts to feeling more comfortable in your role. But if you fake the confidence initially and see and hear yourself coping, eventually that does turn into real confidence. One final point to remember is that as uncomfortable as imposter syndrome may make you feel, it's not necessarily a bad thing to experience, as it means you're pushing yourself to your full capacity and grasping those opportunities to climb the ladder.